La 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 la. Okay, sorry. I've had this like song stuck in my head for like the entire day because I just had it on repeat while working. But I digress. Here is the vlog video I've been trying to work on. I didn't expect it to take me as long as it did, but unfortunately kind of just did. But so there's going to be two versions. There's the YouTube version you see here, and the Patreon version. If you're really interested and want to see more, it'll be up there. Is that I actually have like over an hour of footage, and like I'm not gonna upload an hour worth of like footage onto like Patreon or YouTube. So I cut it down. The Patreon got 20-minute version, or like the extended unedited cut of just like a commentary over it. Kind of think of it like a director's cut kind of. And then we got the YouTube version, which is I'm gonna clean it up a little bit, be more a little bit edited, a little bit more like I want it more cleaned up, if that makes sense. But I hope you guys enjoy. The YouTube version will have all the highlights. I think that were the best parts, so enjoy. So this is the part of the trip where I went to one of my favorite local malls called Arts Pedregal. It was super fucking cool. As you see here, this is where I was able to get some makeup. I wasn't able to get actual footage inside the Sephora just because I got way too anxious. I got way too anxious, and I wasn't able to, I guess, just get that recording. But everyone was super nice, everyone was super polite, everyone helped me like tirelessly. Like the person who helped me out, I don't want to like get them in trouble if this ever like if something happens, but like let me just put it this way, they were extremely helpful and telling me what I needed for like makeup and just so forth. I also picked someone else's brain who told me what I should get as well, so that really helped a lot. Now on this next part, I go to my fucking favorite store, and you can probably tell why, because it has so many plushies. I decided on these three, and I was actually really tempted to take 3 of these, but I was like, no, I can't do 3. I can't do 3 plushies. The way I decided which one to take though was I kind of lined them up in different positions, and well, I just had to figure out. It actually got so bad, and a sales associate started following me around because I'm assuming they just thought I was really sus, when it wasn't the case. I promise that wasn't the case, sales associate, if you ever seen it. But ultimately I did decide on one of them. As you see, I decided on the middle one, the Boba Karomi, and also I got a window or a mirror, and I also got a makeup sponges because I just got makeup, so I kind of needed to do it. Oh, and also, in case you're wondering why I got makeup, it's because I want to try to do a cosplay this year. I haven't decided what cosplay yet, but I want to do a cosplay. But to do that, I have to get good at makeup. So I've been practicing. And when I do get good at it, I'll promise I'll post a picture. Now, after this, I proceed to get ice cream from one of my favorite places at this mall. And actually, so we had to cut through one of my favorite areas as well, which was this kind of gardenish area. Which, fun fact, one of my first ever Twitter posts I ever posted was me laying somewhere here on the ground. If you tell me the timestamp of where you think that may be, you get extra brownie points and maybe a secret prize if I can think of something. But as you can see, it's a very nice area. I used to come to read. I used to come to like eat here. Just a super nice area. Which leads me to my next favorite spot is my ice cream place. And now this ice cream place, the cool thing about them is that they give you macaroons on top of your ice cream. So it's so good. As you can see here, they have the strawberry, the pistachio, chocolate, caramel, and it's just amazing. Plus like different pies, and they have like a bunch of different flavors. I think they have over maybe 30 flavors. It's fucking amazing. Now I ended up going with this one, the pistachio macaron caramel, or actually I think it leche de dulce ice cream, and also pistachio ice cream, which for whatever reason it looks kind of brownish, but I promise it's supposed to look green, or it looks a little bit more greenish in person. Now this was fucking delectable, so fucking tasty, and actually here's a small compilation of me just enjoying my ice cream. Just me walking and biting, going so tasty, so delicious, was very tasty, love it lots. But overall, I just had a great time at this mall. This is probably one of my favorite places to go to. you can never go wrong here. If you ever come to Mexico and you're able to, I'd highly recommend you checking out this mall. It's one of my favorite fucking places to ever go. Now, for the main event, the orchestra. this is kind of where the disappointment starts a little bit. And honestly, I should have seen the signs. There are as many signs to this might be a disappointment. Let me explain. So first of all, my grandma caught wind that I was going to the orchestra, and she made me panic quite a bit. Tried to stay calm because I'm an adult. I control my emotions. I could do that. But she was like, hey, I look at the orchestra or I look at the theater and like it says there's no shows on that day and that evening. And I'm like, well, that's really weird because I obviously bought some tickets for this time. Okay. That's really, really weird. So I kind of look it up, keep looking it up, and I just can't find anything. And honestly, I start panicking, but I was like, I bought the tickets from a place that I really trust because I bought many tickets from this site before. So I just kind of go with my gut instinct here and say like, oh, it's happening. So as we're driving, we finally make it to our location. And now it's really, really weird. It's a theater, but an office building, but also not. It's a really weird place. After spending some time waiting for, I guess, the things to get organized, a line suddenly appears and, well, let's get in line. So we proceed to get in line, except this line leads nowhere. This line goes up like 2 floors, does a loop-de-loop, and goes down 1 floor. And then during that time, that's when, like, I guess one of the organizers comes out and says like, oh yeah, we don't need a line, just come through your ticket. And we're like, oh my God. So we kind of go through with our ticket. In the middle of that, it's just so crowded. I kind of sit off to the side a little bit just because I don't know, it's too overwhelming with the amount of people. So I just kind of sit off to the side and I just kind of take a look around everything. Now, the concession stand wasn't that great. It seemed a very like bootleg. And then the souvenirs was even weirder because so this is an orchestra about Interstellar, the movie. Why the hell was Goku from Dragon Ball Z like in the merch? Pirates of the Caribbean, Star Trek. There was literally things that didn't even have to do with Interstellar that was in the merch, and I wanted to buy some merch, but I'm like, I'm not buying Goku on the night that I go watch Interstellar. I mean, absolutely 0 sense. Now, once you actually got into the theater, that's when like it was even like that's really when the signs really started showing. Once I finally sat down in my seat had a crunch to it, an actual crunch. When you leaned back into it, it was like, did I just break my spine? What is going on? And then the seats themselves were very like tiny, very old. Like once you sat on it, you could feel the cushion kind of squish and like dust would come out. It was just that bad. They were really uncomfortable, but I'm like, I'm here to watch the orchestra. It's like, you know, it's whatever. I'm here to watch the orchestra. Boy, was I wrong. Now, don't get me wrong, the orchestra was actually really, really good. I really enjoyed the orchestra. I think the only thing worth it was the orchestra itself, which, I mean, you can't really go wrong with that. But the TV panels that you see, they played the entire movie, which isn't bad per se. I thought it was going to be more like Game of Thrones. If you actually see right here, this is like from I went to another orchestra a while ago, a couple years ago, and it was Game of Thrones themed, and that's what I thought it was going to be more like. But this one, they played the entire movie while the orchestra replaced the music. Awesome. Except the panels were discolored. So they each had their own color, basically. You can't really see it on my phone, but trust me, wasn't great. There is a wire dangling from the top. And that was like, yeah, that wasn't great. Just a wire just hanging from the top left corner of the screen. And then the speakers, every time someone spoke throughout the movie, the speakers would speak. So it was honestly a terrible experience on that regard. Orchestra, fantastic. Everything else, 0 out of 10. Even then, too, the reviews of the overall theater was quite terrible. I can't really say that was great either. And then after all said and was done, you could actually see the reviews of the theater. In the theater, everyone was basically saying the same thing: is the orchestra was worth it. The theater itself, terrible. And it was almost false advertising because it said like, have an amazing experience with HD giant TV, premium speakers, when it was the exact opposite. But the orchestra was worth it. So you could actually see it here. I'll let you enjoy the music here.
Hey, you ready? Ready.
So as you can see, the music was amazing from the orchestra. Fucking amazing, 10 out of 10. Everything else, if I can give it maybe like a negative number, I would, just for the false advertising. But everything else was good. Everything else was good. As soon as like the orchestra finished, I booked it out of there because there was still a lot of people. And my dad actually ran out first, even before it ended. Because of the fact there were so many people and he was able to get out first, we were able to get our car first back from the valet parking. And as you can see me walking through, it's just, I was able to kind of speed through everyone, and then I had a nice scene of the outside of the theater. It was somewhat a nice area, but just, again, I was just so disappointed by what I thought it was, but it wasn't. But that's okay. On our way back, that's when we actually I asked my dad, I was like, hey, are you hungry? And he was like, sure. And asked me, are you hungry? And I'm like, I'm hungry. And he's like, okay, let's get some tacos. And that's when I got mis tacos al pastor, which are my favorite tacos. They're fucking delicious. Super fucking, absolutely fucking tasty, 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 tasty. And then after that, everything else was anticlimactic. I was able to finally get back tomorrow morning, on the next morning, on the bus, and then headed back to my house, which was a bit of a ride, but I was able to read my book. I was finally able to record the mountains, because the first time I came through, I wasn't able to record the mountains because I fell asleep, but the mountains look so, so cool. So I think that's something you guys would really enjoy to see, is just how mountainous Mexico is. It's just, the scenery is really, really awesome. But this video is already longer than I planned. I wanted to make it a 5-minute video, but here we are. More than anything, I just hope you guys enjoyed the experience I was able to show throughout the video. But yeah, and I guess there's not much more for me to say other than that. So you guys, thank you so much for watching. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful morning, evening, day, wherever you may be. And just thank you for watching. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you guys. Love you guys. Mwah.